It's time once again for another vidIQ live stream. Welcome back. I am Dan, and I'm joined by Rob. How's it going?
Just hold on 1 second, Dan. I need to put on my live streaming gloves. Bear with me a couple of
Okay.
seconds.
All right. We need some glove donning music.
Are people still watching?
This is great.
Is this good for watch time? I don't know. Can I do a bit of ASMR rustling here?
I don't hear anything.
See, this is a problem with his gloves. Look at how mangled they are when you take them off. It takes ages to get the fingerless bits right again.
Why would you take them off?
For the bathroom break and stuff like that.
Why?
All right, I'm going to do Thanos now. I've got the full power of YouTube gemstones now. Hey, everybody. How you doing? That's the weirdest intro I've ever done.
For those of you left here watching, thanks for joining us for that. We're actually here to talk about YouTube, talk about some of our tools and how you can use them to grow your channels. Today, we're going to help you stay on top of trends using the Trend Alerts tool. But before we do that, let's get a few things out of the way. First of all, we probably should say hi to some folks.
Go on, let's do that.
All right, I'll start. I see Bori Piano is here. Eric the Octopi, Luis Santos, Orzan or Orns, something like that. MRX Matriz. Why are these names so complicated today? Excellent Dude is back. Welcome back. David Lunch is here. I just had lunch. It was delicious.
His name change throughout the day?
David Breakfast is here. And Short Reviews. How are you?
I just want to point out, Bori Piano seems to be turning up for every live stream. I tend to remember certain channel names, and we talk about having memorable channel names, and Bori Piano seems to be certainly one of them. So hello to you for another 8th consecutive live stream that you've been in. I'm going to say hello to MK Awan, Creative Idea Tech HD, Stock Adder with Yanak, Easy Technology, Sifu Hamid, Patrick Hoylett, the Gast Gamer, and of course we could not do this live stream ever without innovation. That is a channel name. That's just not a word I'm saying. That is a channel name. Innovation.
Well, that's what we're here to help you do, is innovate on YouTube. So couple of things going on before we jump into today's demonstration. You'll notice the title does mention Q&A. So when you think of a question, I always ask that you maybe write it down on a notepad or something like that so you can ask it during the Q&A portion, because we get a lot of questions and a lot of folks stick around and you may ask something that other people want to know about. So we answer those in the last, I would say, 90 minutes of the live stream?
Almost the entirety of the live stream.
Yeah.
We just have this little thing to do first.
Yeah, this little bit of business to take care of.
The bits that we're paid to do, we need to do first, and then we just have some fun afterwards.
And then we also have something running for not very much longer.
Do we ever?
Oh, my goodness. So give me just 1 second here to pull it up. I didn't have it prepared, but now I do. My computer will load the page. There we go. So we have a special going on right now for April Fool's Day, which is in fact tomorrow. You can get vidIQ Boost. And if you get it for 1 year, not only does that save you 20% on all of our tools, and you have them for an entire year, we're also offering you a free one-on-one channel audit. It's a $500 value. All right. If you were to invest in your channel, how can I grow my channel even more? What can I do? I want to talk to somebody. That would normally be $500. But with this, you get one free session. You can sit down one-on-one with one of our channel auditors. That could be Travis or Alan or Alexi or Jeff. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody or I'll feel really sad. And they are going to sit down with you one-on-one and talk about your YouTube channel, take you through things, ways you can improve. And these folks have a very proven track record. They've taken channels who are in the thousands of subscribers, brought them to the hundreds of thousands of subscribers. One in particular, a gaming channel by the name of Sopo Squad Gaming. They are about to hit 1 million subscribers. And this is in a very short time frame. I believe it's 1 to 2 years on YouTube, something like that now.
Yeah, I think within 12 months.
Yeah. So they're, now a business empire. They're no longer just a YouTuber playing a game. So consider this. It is an investment in your channel, an investment in yourself. But if it's something you can afford to do right now, you should absolutely take advantage. You only have 1 day, 13 hours, and 53 minutes before this offer goes away.
Or that's not a lot of time.
Yeah. Or there's 250 spots when those are taken. That could also end this offer. So get it while it's hot. It's our April Fool's Day special. We're not joking. This will actually be a thing when you hit upgrade now. But go ahead. What are you waiting for?
So hot. It's like a hot cross bun, which are very popular at this time of year.
Is that a thing?
You will get, I guess, a kind of a teaser trailer to your experience during this live stream, in that you'll be able to ask maybe one question through text and we'll be able to answer it, but we won't be able to have like a full-on conversation. But with this offer, you're able to chat to somebody for an entire hour about your channel, as well as that educator here at vidIQ, giving you actual full advice on your channel, which is also what we do on Tuesdays. But again, it's a very passive experience just due to the nature of doing live streams.
Yeah, we're not able to really dive into your channel during like a 5-minute channel audit live with everybody here. Plus, you're not in the room with us, so you can't say, well, actually, my channel's about this, or I'm doing it this way, or why isn't this working? You can't ask any specific questions. We just kind of take the channels as they are and go over them for a few minutes. This is not that. This is...
Yeah, we'd love to, but just like YouTube, well, not exactly on YouTube, but time is money, but time is a really important currency on YouTube as well. We'd love to audit every single channel, but time is money. It usually would be $500 of your money, but not with this offer. So why wait?
Why wait? There you go. So I believe it should be pinned here in the chat if you want to visit vidIQ.com.
It certainly is. Thank you, Dan H, running the knobs and the dials in the background. Does anyone run knobs and dials anymore on like radio shows and stuff? It's all
old school radio stations. Yeah, they have plenty of knobs and dials.
Isn't it more faders and keyboards?
Well, I guess, yeah, I suppose, yeah. I have sliders in front of me. I had to turn a knob to get my headphones to have sound today.
Sliders and switches, maybe, these days.
Either way, Dan uses a keyboard to post things to our chat, which is pretty interesting technology there. And he's pinned it up top for you. vidIQ.com/bonus. Go ahead and take advantage of that now. Why don't we get into what?
Well, I do have one quick April Fool's story that I have. Have you ever run like an April Fool's on your YouTube channel, Dan? Or is anyone in the chat?
Yeah, maybe years ago.
There was once where I had my tech channel, and I was really into how to record your iPhone screen. That was my big thing on YouTube. And it was really hard to do on iOS. And so as an April Fool's joke, I announced that I was launching my own screen recording app for iOS. And so what I did is I photoshopped existing Apple screens and just changed the knobs and the dials, like the toggles, and changed it to like recording 60 frames per second, etc., etc. And people actually bought it. Like for an entire day, people thought I was releasing an app, and like 3 months later, people would still be saying, "When are you releasing VGJ Rec?" Because that's what I called it, And it was such a bad April Fool's, but people bought it. I don't know. I may still do one tomorrow. I have a bit of time after this live stream, so we'll see.
Oh my gosh, you can't.
We'll see what happens on vidIQ.
An April Fool's joke before. Oh man. Well, there you go. That's what you get for being here at the live stream. A little bit of insight into something that might happen. So we're going to be talking about the trend alerts tool.
Yes, let's do something constructive now.
Yes. This tool is, I would say, a bit underrated because imagine Google alerts, right? You can set up alerts for anything. And when someone posts something, maybe you're just trying to see if people are talking about you in your YouTube channel. So you could set up an alert for your name and it would pop up in your email or wherever. This is kind of like that, but specifically for YouTube itself. So where you can find it is on the left hand. Well, first of all, we should say this. You should probably install, if you haven't already, the vidIQ on your Chrome or Firefox browser. You can get it for free and access a good portion of the tools you'll see today. Of course, we are using the most paid version of the software, so you're going to see it's going to look a little bit differently if you don't have that. If you're new to vidIQ, you can actually take advantage of 30 days for free, though, and that is linked down below.
So yes, if you can't take advantage of the yearly subscription, then we do have a completely free offer as well, which is always available. So yeah, as Dan says, check out the link for that as well.
Yes. So once it's in the description below, once it's installed, you'll have all these fancy buttons here on the left-hand side.
Unless YouTube decides to redo the layout and then they all disappear and then we have to change it. We apologize if that ever happens. So just quickly, as an alternative, Dan, we've got the hamburger menu in the top right-hand corner. I'm really sorry to cut you off there, but I just, we noticed that last week. And it's when YouTube makes changes and they don't tell us. And that is really frustrating. So it means that there's sometimes a bit of a lag. But yeah, the menus are on the hamburger menu there as well, if they're not on the left-hand side. Sorry, Dan. I won't interrupt you again. I do apologize.
That's okay. That's a good point. If that ever happens, we're on it pretty quick. So trend alerts. You click that, and we already pulled one up here because we were playing around with it before the live stream. So now I can't show you what it looks like when this isn't here. But the way it works is you basically name the trend alert whatever you want, because you'll likely set up a bunch of these, and these are pretty old for us right now. We haven't updated this in a while, but one of the examples here we wanted to show you was less than 5,000 on Minecraft. That's what we've named this. And we've put these different stats in here, which we're gonna set this up and show you how this works. But when you come into here, suddenly you're seeing everything related to the trend from just 2 days ago, from some of these 13 hours ago. And we're looking at different views per hour and the views total on the video, who made the video, and of course the title and the thumbnail. So all this is really good information. You're trying to figure out what's going on in the world of Minecraft. So let's delete this, actually. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes. And this is what the page looks like when you first get it. Welcome to Trend Alerts. This is what it does. Here's a video on how it works real quick. And what you want to do is create a new alert.
Who's been doing a trend alert for Paw Patrol, eh? We need to find that out. Who's a fan of Paw Patrol? I bet it's Leron. I bet he did it and he forgot about it.
Probably.
We'll have to remind him. Leron, you still got his Paw Patrol alert going on here. Do you want it?
You still watch it?
Still send you emails.
So I liked the way you named that. So we're looking at less than 5K on Minecraft, right? You can name this whatever you want. It's of no consequence. And then you can come down here and put whatever keywords you would like to put. So in this case, it was just Minecraft is what we were looking at. I believe, is it comma to add more, or is it just one at a time?
Yeah, separate search terms with commas.
Oh, yeah, it says it right down there. So modded Minecraft. Usually there's an autofill like on some apps, so I've gotten very spoiled. So Minecraft, modded Minecraft, if we wanted to. I'm just going to stick to Minecraft right now, but that's how you would add more. And then it's important in this case, because it's gaming, to pick the category. But if you're an educational channel or something like that, and you've always struggled to figure out where your video should be categorized in the first place, maybe just keep it on all categories. I know Minecraft is gaming, so I'm just going to click gaming. If you want, you can even factor in your competitors. You set this up in the competitors tool itself. I'm not going to click there right now because I think it'll get rid of this, but these are all predetermined based on what you've put in the competitors tool. So if we wanted to see Minecraft videos from Daryl Leaves, we would select him and make sure that I believe that would be only.
Yeah, so it just limits, if you add a competitor, it just limits the trends to that competitor. Mm-hmm. If you leave it blank, then it's just scraping the whole of YouTube effectively for these keywords. So that would be useful if you wanted to do a really refined search on a particular topic. So for us, for example, we might just put more views as a keyword, and then we'd select Daryl Lees, Think Media, video influencers, that type of thing.
Exactly. So you can, if you're a Minecraft channel focused on just Minecraft, in this case, you would probably have a bunch of Minecraft competitors. And if you didn't care about what anyone outside your competitor space was doing, check all those boxes, and now you're going to get everybody. And you can even add competitors from here too. But now you're only going to get videos from them. So then we select the view per hour threshold. Now that's why we named it less than 5,000, because our intention was to select this. Choose how many views per hour a video must have before triggering this alert. Now, what does it mean to trigger the alert? Well, that's what we get down to here. Email frequency. The trend alerts right now works in such a way where once you set it up, you will get emails every time there is an alert, something to email you about in this category with everything you've set here. So you can make these happen every single day if you want. You can make them happen every other day or every week or every month.
It also sets a time frame as well. Like if you set the email for every month, then it's tracking videos over that month. But if you set it for every day, then it's only looking for videos that are published on that day. As far as I remember, I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, because that's looking at videos in the last couple of hours.
Right. And so in this case, because this is gaming Now, this is going to be different for everybody, depending on how often you upload and things like that, how many emails you want. But because this is gaming, I would say every day or every 2 days might be where to go when you're looking at a Minecraft trend, because it's trending. If you wait a whole month, some of those alerts you get in a month might be not of much use to you if you're trying to look for video ideas here. So I'm going to keep it on every 2 days. And I don't know whose email is attached to this, where they're going to go. We might want to remove this when we're done. But yes, you would have your email address logged in, obviously, so they go to your email. And before you even create the alert, you can start to see a preview, the first 10 results.
Yep.
So you don't need necessarily to look at the email to actually start benefiting from this tool, which is great. So we know that 2 days ago, Tap L made a video. It has almost 1 million views, and it's getting 64,000 views per hour. So Minecraft, but every block falls from the sky. That's pretty interesting. You might want to go into that video, see if there's a way you can benefit from that idea. Can you do this? Is this a challenge you can take on your own channel? I'm playing Minecraft as an Enderman to help Loggy. I'm not exactly sure who Loggy is. This person's obviously a bigger creator, really cool thumbnail, 1.2 million views from 13 hours ago. So this is likely mostly from notifications. Of course, you can always click on the channel and dive deeper. But could you play Minecraft as a creeper? You know, is there going to be a trend of people playing Minecraft as different mobs based on some mod they're using or something like that? So this kind of gives you an idea of what kind of trends we could be looking at here. So let's create the alert. And that's where we get this trend alert right here. So we can click on this now. If we haven't gotten an email yet, or we don't want to wait for the email or whatever, and now we can start seeing the 10 results that are trending in Minecraft for the last 2 days. So there it is. Anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, so let's go to the pencil icon. If you scroll back up, Dan, if you click on the pencil icon, let's try and tweak this a little bit then, because I think we're getting more than enough results here for Minecraft. So do you just want to add a comma to the keywords?
Yep.
And what do you think might be like another good keyword to use for Minecraft, but just niches it down a little bit more? So Hypixel might be one. And we're just going to do some experimentation here. So let's see how does that affect the results at the bottom? As it so it should automatically update, I think. All right, so let's go back to the pencil, because this is where we need to think about, you know, what might be a good one here. All right, so is that updated anymore? Okay. So I tell you what. So let's change the views per hour, because it may be that we're wanting too much here. Slap it down to 500 and see if it brings up any results. All right, let's put it down to 100. So this does take a bit of experimentation to see what's going to come up. So we got a couple of results there from, my guess would be smaller channels, and they're looking at certain Hypixel things there. It's an interesting that we see 2 recurring themes here of keyboard and mouse sounds for Hypixel from 2 different creators. I mean, is that some sort of strange, very recent trending thing that's going on, Dan? I mean, we'd have to watch the videos and find out, or that's where we do a bit more research.
Right.
But there's just an example of how we search for Minecraft and we got a lot of results, and that might be too broad for you. So then you want to experiment just a little bit with some extra keywords, and then maybe create a result on that.
Exactly. And what this is going to do is you might get a little frustrated, right? Like I was just getting a little frustrated, like Minecraft Hypixel, what's going on? And all that means now is as we go into edit this alert and we keep having to lower the view per hour threshold, is maybe it's a trend, but maybe it's a niche trend, you know? And then you have to decide where you're at. You know, is a niche trend what I want to be doing, or do I really want to go for a much larger potential? So if I can't get something to show up at 5,000 views per hour, which by the way is an insane amount of views.
Yeah, it is. You are right. That's effectively more than 100,000 views a day.
Right.
And so not many videos get that many views.
I'm guessing a lot of newer creators would be thrilled to get
absolutely
100 views per hour. So let's just kind of look at this from that lens for a minute. We're a small channel. We have less than 100 subscribers. We play Minecraft. We're trying to get on top of a trend. So what do you type into here? You type in Minecraft, and I just want to see what happens when we look at 100 views per hour with Minecraft. Update alert. A lot of the same, because these are already, we saw these because they're getting way more than 100 views, obviously. So that was kind of a silly experiment. But now you want to niche down, because how can you hope to compete? Actually, yeah, let's look at that. How can you hope to compete under the search term of just Minecraft with Tap L and, Jelly I saw in there? It's funny. Smallish Beans, Slogo. Like, these are all channels that have posted in the last couple of days, and on the keyword Minecraft, they're ranking very, very, very highly. So you need to get more niche now with the keyword. So Minecraft Bed Wars. Bed Wars is a mini game in Hypixel if we're Minecrafters. And we can start to see
some results,
some different results here. Still some of the same big channels, but now lower view per hour counts than we were seeing a minute ago. 506 views per hour. I played Bed Wars with the loudest texture pack. That's a really interesting little thumbnail they've made.
Somebody having success with shorts there and Minecraft Bed Wars.
Yep. When you don't know how Minecraft Bed Wars works. Yep. So a lot of folks doing Minecraft Bed Wars, but these numbers to me are a lot more encouraging. And I would say that maybe Demons is maybe a smaller channel than some of the ones we're looking at. So I'm just going to click in here real quick. And it actually opens the video, but I wanted to see the channel. 23,000 subscribers. Almost 24,000 subscribers. So I feel like we're on to something if we're a smaller channel, and we're trying to find a trend that I think we can rank for a little bit stronger than, where we're looking at before. Sorry. Now I can't make it go back. Here, stand by. Rob, entertain the people.
You caught me completely off guard there. There we go. We're back. Wait, are you not entertained?
So playing with this tool is it can actually be a lot of fun. This is part of the research process at vidIQ. We have all of our tools categorized here on in the extension. So we're in trend alerts right now, but if you were to look at the research category, you'd see all the tools we consider will be part of your research strategy going forward as you use the tools. And then from there, you can optimize and measure your performance. So the whole process is laid out here. And trend alerts is simply part of that process. Anything to add to this?
I guess just to mention that you will start to get emails about these trend alerts. Funnily enough, I set up a trend alert for iPhone 10, I think 4 years ago now, 3 years, whenever iPhone 10 came out, and I still get a weekly email about iPhone 10 stuff. So that email will be sent out. It is reliable, and it can just remind you about these trends that are going on. So make sure to update this information as and when you need to. And I think, this tool is kind of used in conjunction a little bit, I would say, with most viewed. If there's any particular patterns or themes, like I saw keyboard and mouse Minecraft combination, I might be thinking about how to use that in the most viewed tool if I was really into Minecraft.
Right. I was just putting this back to the way we had it. So there you go. You can see what the biggest people in the space are doing by simply typing something as vague as Minecraft, or you could start to really niche down. And I know we focused on this. It was right in front of us, so we thought we really liked the results in here. And Minecraft is such a diverse game; it can show you so much. But this would work for anything, not just gaming, but animation or music or what have you. So for music channels, I would say you would be looking for popular songs. Maybe you would type in Katy Perry piano or something like that. You would start to, you would know better than us, obviously, because we're the music channel. But you can use this for just about anything. Me being obsessed with gaming, this was the easiest example. However, if you have questions, we're about to jump into Q&A. So we do like to get questions specifically about the tool of the day, being the Trend Alerts tool, or vidIQ in general. And of course, we always end up taking your YouTube questions anyway. But if you have any specific questions about how this tool might work specific to your channel, please feel free to ask them. You have to start your question by using the hashtag question in chat. And we didn't pull up our ticker yet. Here we go. So if you use hashtag question, and especially in all caps, it helps us see your question. Please don't spam your question. There's a lot of people asking questions. We end up stopping chat for a while, talking about them. So ask your question. Give us some time. If we don't get to it in 5-10 minutes, ask again. but please don't spam the chat, because that's a really good way to get mods to jump all over you, and that's never fun.
I think, Dan, while you search for the first question, just to remind you all, folks, that what you saw there was just one of the many, many, many tools that we have here at vidIQ. Like Trend Alerts is one of, I think, 12 featured tools right now, along with, I mean, I counted this like 3 years ago, when I counted that we more or less have 100 separate tools in vidIQ. Depends how you class the tools. Like the video scorecard itself probably has 20 individual tools in there in terms of all of the data that it gives you. And if you want to experience trend alerts along with channel audits, most viewed, even video ideas, which we're still beta testing for free, there is a link in the video description that will give you 30-day full access. But if you want to commit long-term to your YouTube growth and to start with a one-on-one consultation with one of the vidIQ educators, auditors here, then you have just 1 day left to take advantage of that offer of a full subscription to vidIQ with 20% off, along with that consultation. Links in the description, all that good stuff.
Somebody clearly said Dr. Savage 3 times into a mirror, and now we have summoned Dr. Savage.
Yo, Dr. Savage, how does a live stream exist without me? Very effectively, efficiently, and well structured is the answer to that, Dr. Savage. Thank you for joining us. When are you going to make another video, Dr. Savage? Still less than 100 subscribers. Pathetic. Pathetic. You
have been called out. Well, all right. Thank you for the super sticker from Skylark Live.
He's piling them in. There's 3 here from Skylark Live, I believe.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you're right. Look at that. Boom. Thank you so much. I love your little avatar there. It's awesome. Okay, we're getting a lot of actual questions here. Let's see here.
Yeah, thanks, Dan, for taking the time out. Like I was doing like a really long pitch of our tools, and all you found was a question from Savage. You kind of left me high and dry there.
He asked a couple questions. He asked why I couldn't pronounce names, and that's because I'm illiterate.
I think you're very good at pronouncing names now, Dan. I think you're the bona fide expert.
Yeah, well, the trick is to ignore the ones you can't read.
Or kind of hide the ones that you have difficulty pronouncing in some kind of joke. I've noticed you do that as well. It's very effective.
Sick question here. How niche do my trend alerts need to be? I would say as niche as you want. The greatest thing about trend alerts is you can create a bunch of them. So
yeah, unlimited, I believe so.
Yeah, so
you can on the paid version.
You can go ahead and just create away. I would start vague and then niche down from there. It really comes
broad. Start broad, not vague.
I said vague. I meant broad. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm so, when it comes to people just titling their videos, Minecraft, the vague is where my mind goes, which is very negative. Yeah. Broad would be the very kind word to say. Start broad, niche down from there if you would like. There's really no wrong way to use it, but I would say that if your channel is of a certain size, so like we were looking at a little while ago, just Minecraft offered results for channels that were massive. It was going to be very hard to compete for that term, but try to string some keywords together and find something you would actually rank for. Start with an idea you've had for a video, right? And start searching for alerts related to it. So if you're going to make a Minecraft Bed Wars video, you kind of noticed a little while ago that Minecraft Bed Wars had some people who were, I would say, a smaller size to the ones just playing Minecraft and ranking on that one term. So there you go. And you can start to go from there. Hopefully that kind of answers the question. It really depends on your channel.
I've got a beauty for you, Dan. I think you should start with this. Chess Geek asks, is it important to use a community tab consistently? Does it bring in new subscribers?
Unfortunately, we can't say definitively whether it brings in new subscribers, but what I can tell you is that I've been having a lot of luck in my personal tests, and vidIQ as well has been having a lot of luck getting the community tab posts to reach more and more people. My running theory right now is that if you use it every single day, at least once a day, you will have the potential to have your posts seen by more and more and more people as the weeks go by. I started out using the community tab, and I post a poll. It would get a couple hundred votes, and then it slowly crept up to over 1,000 votes on new polls. And before I knew it, since I was using it every day for several weeks in a row, I've been getting some of my polls 15,000 votes. And we're talking about a channel that only has a few thousand subscribers. So does that bring me more subscribers? We don't have enough metrics to say, but the idea behind that, if you're a marketer like we are, is that your name, your brand is out there more and more. So nothing is wrong with that, getting your name and your logo out there. And who knows, maybe YouTube is trying some of your content out. It's because you voted on a poll. Now suddenly you start seeing content from that creator because they're testing it. Like, you liked this person's poll, you like this person's image post. Do you like their videos? So it could lead to more subscribers if that's how it works.
Here's how I look at the community tab. When somebody sees a community post or a voting poll, etc., they're already engaging with that content because it might be, a question, a message, a voting poll, as you see. Whereas when you see a thumbnail, you still have to make the decision whether or not you want to click on it to watch the content. And if you make your community posts inherently different from videos in the streams, then it can have a huge impact. Just as an example, you write down, we've been cultivating our community tab now for over 3 years. I just asked a very simple question an hour ago, like, should YouTube hide dislikes? And from just 2 emojis, we've got 4,500 votes. And I wouldn't be surprised if that vote has 10,000 plus.
Yeah.
Now imagine how many people have actually seen that versus how many people have engaged. I'm going to say maybe 1 in every 10 people have engaged with this voting poll at this point. So already in the last hour, it probably has around about 50,000 impressions, which is incredible. But as Dan says, I think you need to cultivate it over a period of time, over a few months, and post every single day. I actually did bring up, I think, Jess Geek's community tab here, and it looks as if you're using it on a regular basis already, which is fantastic. And Dan, he's following the same tactic as you of having, who your favorite chess streamers, but then also other comment below to add even more engagement, which I think, I've just voted on other. So
now you get a comment.
Yeah, who do I'd put Kasparov, but I don't know how to spell his name. So I'm going to put Deep Blue. That was the computer chess machine, wasn't it, from a while ago? Anyway, there you are. You've got a comment from it as well. So no doubt what's going to happen is that we're going to get loads of chess community posts from you over the next week now on our feed.
And different levels of engagement, it's fair to, because other platforms work like this too, different levels of engagement likely lead to a different amount of credit that YouTube gives to that creator versus the person who commented. So like that was a terrible way to say that. But what I'm trying to say is now we're definitely going to see your next poll. We're definitely going to see your next community post, because not only did we vote, we left a comment too. And if we had hit like, that would have been the maximum amount of engagement we could have gotten on it. So that's what you're trying to do. And that's why I've been telling people, hey, when you do these community posts, don't just make a poll about you. Don't just make a poll about, hey, what should my next video be? Your polls and your image posts and things like that should really be about your audience in some way. They should ask a question if they can, or just promote some kind of discussion. So if you build something in a game and you want to show it off, right, make an image post, make it square so it shows up nice and big, and say, like, let's say it's Minecraft again. This is my new castle I made in Minecraft. What's the coolest thing you've ever built? Comment below. And you'd be surprised how many people just want to share that, even though they can't share the image in the comments or anything like that. They might just pop in and say, actually, I built a castle and it was way better than your castle. It was much bigger. It had a moat and it was awesome, and your castle stinks. But at least you've promoted, a discussion.
I think this one's always a decent one to just quickly revisit for anybody who's maybe relatively new to YouTube. Let us know in the comments if you are a new YouTuber or started in the last year. So my answer to this is twice as long as you're currently spending on your thumbnails is usually my first piece of advice. And I still need to tell that to myself on occasion. General tips would be, however much text you're using right now, use half as much text, if not no text, because that can be a really interesting challenge, but it can also make you think in a completely different way about thumbnails. Try and use 3 dominant colors at most. More dominant colors will mean that there's a lot more distracting colors on the thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
Try to use no more than 4 main elements. So that might be some text, 1 or 2 objects, and maybe a logo or an icon of some kind. So, for example, if you're going to do a listicle of the top 10 movies, don't try and use an image from all of those movies. Use just one of the images from one of those movies, which may seem a little controversial, or it may trigger in the viewer, I don't agree with this, so I need to watch this video to see if there are what I would think are the best movies of 2021. So like you're kind of creating a bit of tension and intrigue in the thumbnail. And also, I think the best thumbnails are those that in some way complement or are complemented by the title. They work in conjunction. So that means not repeating the title in the thumbnail or vice versa. I may have just stolen all of the thumbnail tips there, Dan, but if you can think of any more.
I always, and it still takes time to do this, so I don't want anyone to be confused, but I always say that simple is better when it comes to thumbnails.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'm speaking from the perspective of somebody who audits channels just about every week here at vidIQ, and we see a lot of people put a lot of time into their thumbnails, but that time translates to just elements all over the place. And you could tell they had to go and fetch all of those, and they had to think of words to put all over the place. But simple is better. I don't mean simple, simple, that only took me 5 minutes to make. I mean simple in the sense of, like, to the viewer, it's a simple looking thumbnail. There's a character, there's maybe some text, maybe an arrow. That's it. It needs to be clear if you're a gamer, what game it is, or if you're baking something, what it is you're actually baking. We saw a cooking channel, I think last week, where their thumbnails were really nice, but like the video itself didn't match what was in the thumbnail, and we were very confused by that. And so you want to make sure that people know just by looking at the thumbnail what they're going to get. Bonus points if you don't use text. Bonus points if they don't even need to read the title before knowing what the video is about. And that's when you know you've done it right.
I think we need to create some sort of gamification of the vidIQ tools here, which gives you points based on the thumbnail. Like it, no text, ding, 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 ding. You've leveled up to level 2 and you get 500 gil and some, what would you get? Maybe some playlist material. I'm doing some Final Fantasy VII references here, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. There's 2 things that came into my head when you mentioned keep it simple, Dan. And those are, remember that your thumbnail, you design it on a big 32-inch widescreen or whatever, but most people see it, that big postage stamp size on a mobile device. And on top of this, people probably look at your thumbnails for 1 second. So you may want to design your thumbnail and then come back the following morning and kind of do this. You load it up on screen, look away, and go. And you look at the thumbnail for a second and you think, oh, did that make any sense? I don't know how practical that is to do, to be honest, but time is currency again. I think I've already said that today. And you want people to be on your content for as long as possible. But at the same time, a viewer wants to spend as little time as possible understanding what a video is about, getting the value out of it, etc., etc. So they're going to look at a thumbnail for maybe a second at most. I know that sounds ridiculous, but think of your own viewer experience. Yeah. How often are you swiping through the feed and you've just seen thumbnails for a fraction of a second? Your thumbnail needs to do some work in that second.
Yeah, I'll tell a quick story. Last night I was making a video, and what I did was I made a thumbnail. By the time I was done with the thumbnail process of this video, it took as long to make the thumbnail as it did to edit the video. That's how long it took. And the reason was because I made a thumbnail. I liked it enough. I tried it on the video. And as I was looking at it, I thought, oh, wait, I have an idea. And I took what I had and I rearranged it. I added a different element to it. I took a couple things away and I had a totally different thumbnail by the time it was done. And by the time I finally got the video posted, it took about the same amount of time as it did to edit the video. And that isn't something you should be ashamed of, because especially when you're trying to grow, that time is being spent well if you're working on the thumbnail, because no one knows my editing is good or bad if they're never going to even click on the video in the first place.
Best practice, although I find this really difficult to do, I don't know about you, Dan, but best practice seems to generally be that you should know what your video title is before you even press record. And some people even make their thumbnail before they make the video. I think I will always struggle to do that. I may have an idea of the image in my head of a thumbnail before I start the video, but usually I make it afterwards. But yeah, what do you do the same thing, Dan? Generally, make the thumbnail afterwards.
Generally speaking, you and I chatted yesterday about a video, and you spit out a thumbnail idea that I really like.
Oh,
I see it in my head, and those are the best. The thumbnail part to me, still to this day, is kind of the most daunting part of making a video, because I know I'm going to have to spend a lot of time on it. I'm not really afraid of shooting the video. I'm not afraid of editing the video. That thumbnail, sometimes, if I'm not clear on how it might look going into the video, I know by the time I get to Photoshop, I'm going to be like, oh no, I still don't know what this thumbnail should look like. And I really got to start getting creative. So I have to shift gears. It's a totally different practice from actually making a video. And that's why big YouTubers, as they get bigger, hire someone to do it for them. It's not uncommon to see that.
I'll start with this one, Dan, so then I can sit back, because I think you're going to have most of the advice here. Finley HB, I'm a new Minecraft YouTuber. Welcome to YouTube, first of all. How do I stand out? Start experimenting with shorts. Take it away, Dan.
Well, we just saw a little while ago when we played with the Trend Alerts tool how difficult it is today to rank for the term Minecraft, and just hope that Minecraft episode 1, it gets you some views. It probably won't. One thing I've been trying to explain to folks, especially who are newer, you're all here, you want to grow, so that's where this advice comes from. If you're a newer YouTuber and or you've been going for a while and you still feel like you're hitting roadblocks, think about the people you're making content for. We at vidIQ make content as YouTube educators to educate you, to help you grow your YouTube channel. So if we sat here and discussed things that weren't that, you'd probably tune out. And we understand that. People who play Minecraft are people who want to know, when they look on YouTube, how to do something in Minecraft, or what they're kind of bored and they're like, what can I build next? I don't really know. They're looking for inspiration. They're looking for ideas. And yes, of course, they're looking to be entertained as well, but that always kind of comes later, especially when you're newer. So don't take for granted. You're a new Minecraft YouTuber. When did you start playing Minecraft? And it's rhetorical. You don't have to answer that. I started playing in like 2009 when it first came out, but a lot of people just started today, like for the first time ever. And that's not a joke. Like, Microsoft puts a lot of marketing into getting people to know what Minecraft is even today. So there's people who are playing for the very first time. Cater your content to them. Just like you are new to the Minecraft community on YouTube, there are people who are new to Minecraft as players right now, and they're going to start asking questions, some of them very basic. How do you tame a wolf in Minecraft? Things like that. So that is one way you can stand out. Of course, there are niche communities. You want to dig around a little bit and see what fun niche communities you can maybe get into as well. But that's always where the root advice comes from, of make how-to content, make tutorials, make things like that.
Thank you, Donny Games. But this is a real hero wrestling belt we got right here. The 500,000 subscriber vidIQ custom wrestling belt. We'll probably get him another one for 1 million subscribers in, fingers crossed, around about 6 months. I don't know. I might keep this on my shoulder now for the rest of the live stream. I'm still undefeated. Nobody's challenged me yet for this title. It's WrestleMania's coming up. Maybe, apparently, Logan Paul's going to be on WrestleMania. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll challenge him. See what happens there. Sorry, Dan. I didn't have time to find a question because I was getting the wrestling belt.
That's okay. I'll find a question. Let's see here. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to read these. They're kind of long.
Oh, I'll quickly answer this one. You have so living life in the slow lane with Paul and Randy. You have a PowerShot A560 Canon camera. Can I make a shot with this camera? The simple answer to this is it does not matter what camera or filming equipment you have. You may not even have a camera because you may record your screen. The most important thing when it comes to YouTube Shorts is that the video is less than 60 seconds long and is in a vertical video format. You can include hashtag shorts in the title or the description if you wish to. I think at this point, it probably does help the video because so many people are using that hashtag right now. This will mean that the video qualifies, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the video will show up on the shelf. That's still the YouTube key lock that we're all trying to open with YouTube Shorts. So yeah, start making videos with that camera. I mean, just point and shoot in vertical, but make sure it's less than 60 seconds long. Was that enough time for you to find a question, Dan? It was.
Yeah. My channel's already over 4,000 hours of watch time, but I'm not even close to 1,000 subs. Why aren't I gaining subs at the same rate? I think we did take a look at this channel last week, in fact. So thanks for returning. Given that your channel is, they didn't have a lot of videos, right?
I can't remember what the channel was now.
I think they had a lot of really long videos, not a lot, but a few really long videos that were music related, and they were just mixes of songs and things like that. I would just say more content, like, because your content is so long, it's not surprising that you've got your 4,000 hours of watch time, because people are just listening and chilling to the music. But you haven't really given them a reason to subscribe if you're not making enough content, for one thing. Or maybe you just haven't prompted them to. Maybe you haven't put anything in there that's just a small, subtle reminder, like, by the way, subscribe. I do more of these. Sometimes it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, so he has 9 videos on the channel right now. And as you say, a lot of them are long form. So more content, obviously, and include calls to action to get people to press that red button. You may even, I mean, some people actually say that it really helps. When people say it really helps me if you subscribe to the channel, viewers are actually more inclined to do it. And I know I'm rattling on about how subscribers are not important anymore. They are still important for requirements and unlocking tools, and obviously you want to get to 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, I think you are going to need to add more calls to action. That might be a bit difficult to do on the videos you have right now. The one thing you can do, which I've been experimenting with low key, is you can add an interactive card that simply says subscribe now, and the link is to your channel. So it may encourage them to, as a reminder, do that. I know WWE do that. That's why I've been experimenting with it. I can't confess to that much success with it. You can also use a pinned comment and something in the description as well, a link to subscribe to the channel. This is just all on the content you already have, by the way. Obviously, when you make new content, then you can start to bake in some proper lower thirds and calls to action to get people to subscribe. I mean, the other thing as well is that I would say with this kind of music content, people are less inclined to subscribe, because this is all about, I guess, the content and the music, not necessarily the creator and their journey, if you know what I mean. Like, it almost feels as if they can perhaps get this music from many different sources, and it gets into a point where they don't subscribe, but the content's being recommended to them. So there's just less of a connection with the specific channel if you don't brand it, I guess, with your own personality and graphics and whatnot.
Right. So I'm seeing a lot of questions that are, I'm going to use the word vague again. They are kind of vague. Some people asking, how do I get views as a blank channel? Or can you help me get more subscribers? Things like that. Make sure your question is somewhat specific, because all we can really do is point you to some of the very many videos we have here at vidIQ to answer those. We're happy to answer your questions depending on what kind of channel you are. We're not discriminating against what kind of channel anyone is, but we don't really have anything to say if there's no actual question attached to it. So be sure your questions are specific.
You can remember what our stock answer is now to that type of question, Dan. Remember, how do I get more views? How do I get more subscribers? Our answer is, can you remember, Dan?
Make videos, right?
Make more videos.
Yeah.
Because you'll get more experience, you'll get more data, you'll get more feedback, and you will learn through that process. If you want to ask specific questions, as you say, brilliant, we'll answer those specific questions. Watch more of our vidIQ content about how to get more subscribers, how to get more views, etc., etc. It's like trying to answer the question, how do I drive a car? Or how do I swim? Well, to drive a car, there are a million different things to consider. To learn how to swim, we can only tell you so much, but you got to jump in the pool and actually start doing the swimming. And I think for people who are asking those questions, like how to get more views and more subscribers, yeah, I don't think you're quite there yet for the type of answer we would give you, because I feel as if we try to answer the question how to get more subscribers for the next 2 hours, I don't know if you'd actually apply those strategies, or you'd make some videos and then say, I applied all of these strategies and it didn't work. And then we'd have you on the channel audits and we take one look at your thumbnails and say, yeah, but you didn't do any of this on your thumbnails. I'm sorry to kind of answer in that way. I'm spending a really long time answering this question now, Dan, and I shouldn't be, should I?
No. That's the point I'm trying to get across, because I'm still seeing questions come in that are like, how do I get more views? How do I grow a blank channel? It's just nothing I'm not selecting those because there's just nothing we can really say other than, hey, make content. And I know that's not the answer you're looking for. You probably have a specific thought as to why you're not getting views, and you can be a little more specific with your questions. All right. So here's one. I have a quick question. Do I need a specific amount of videos uploaded until the algorithm accepts me and puts it out to people?
Janelle Eliana will suggest not, because I think she made 1 video or 2 videos before her channel blew up. So there's not a certain prescribed number of videos that you need to publish, but I think more videos from the channel is going to help not only your audience understand what your content's about, which then informs the YouTube algorithm what your channel's about, but it'll also help inform you as to the type of content that you make.
Algorithm questions are a bit tough because when we get questions like this, the algorithm's just so much more sophisticated than these goalposts that people kind of imagine, right? Like, oh, well, okay, you finally cracked it. You did 9 videos, and that's the secret number of videos before we start actually taking a look at your channel. I've seen channels start off and get hundreds of views on their first videos, like first 2 or 3 videos. So it really depends on the topics you cover. A lot of people start out and they don't really know what they're doing yet. They're just trying to figure it out. So they upload their first 20 videos and maybe none of them take off because there's no focus there. YouTube doesn't really know what the channel's about. The creator doesn't really know how to make a good thumbnail yet, or what constitutes as a good thumbnail. They don't really know the title, who they're targeting. You really got to understand who your audience is. And I know it's very basic advice, but that's how you can get your very first video on YouTube to actually get picked up and shown to people.
If you want a number, Mamba HD, it would be 100. And that's just from a lot of people who have said, a lot of YouTube educators who have said, make 100 crappy videos. Because let's be honest, your first videos are going to be your worst videos, and you learn so much during that process. I love making YouTube
He'll be
content,
back.
so before I got better at it. And so try what?
You're fine. You're fine.
Sorry. I've lost my train of thought now. What was I going to say?
100 crappy videos, and then kind of for a second.
I can't remember that. I was somewhere in the middle of a sentence. I've blown it. But yeah, I think my answer was like 100 crappy videos.
Yeah. That it may sound like a lot, but if you were to upload every couple of days or whatever your cadence is, you'll be there in no time. And you learn a lot. Every single video is a teaching moment. All right. Let's see here. Okay, this is kind of an interesting question. I wasn't going to select it, and then something popped in my head, and I wanted to address it. How do I title a funny moments video so it gets clicks, but it's not clickbait? Clickbait, Webster's dictionary defines clickbait. To me, and I think Rob agrees, clickbait is only clickbait if you've told a lie. You've basically said your title and your thumbnail, or you're going to get this thing if you watch this video, and you actually don't deliver on the promise. So never do that is kind of the answer here. If you want to make a funny moments video, it should really be, again, related to a topic. So you wouldn't want to make funny moments in Minecraft followed by piano fails. You know what I mean? Like, you want to stay on topic. So make sure your channel is focused on a niche, and then focus on funny moments in that niche. Or if you are just kind of a channel that does pop culture, make sure that your funny moments in pop culture history or pop culture today or whatever it is are trending things. There's a good chance people are searching for just funny things that have happened in the world, and you want to make sure that that's included in your collage of funny moments.
I was just doing a quick search for like Fortnite funny moments, and what I was seeing here was that people tend to title it with like top 200 funniest moments in Fortnite, and then the thumbnail is doing a job of telling or hinting at a funny story. Yeah, there's maybe two ways to think about this. In that maybe the title should just be, like America's Funniest Home Videos. That's, I guess, the title of a program. And then if it was a thumbnail, it would have some sort of comedic moment going on, because I guess there's maybe more search intent there. And then the other way to do it is that it might be a really cryptic title, such as "He didn't see that coming." And, there's almost no attempt at SEO. It's all about the comedy. But then the thumbnail kind of reveals a little bit what if it's a game or something similar than that. And yeah, I would more or less echo Dan's point in that clickbait is only clickbait if it doesn't deliver on its perceived promise by the intended audience, which kind of leads to the sense that, yeah, maybe Logan Paul and I think more Jake Paul can have some very clickbaity thumbnails, but their audience continues to click on those videos and enjoy the content. So he'll be getting tremendous watch time within those videos. And if that's their intent and their desire, that's fine. That's their audience. If you don't align with their idea of a thumbnail, well, you're not part of their audience, and neither are millions of other people. So you need to focus on the audience that may be interested in the content that you're trying to create for them. So it is a tricky balance, much as this wrestling bell that I'm just getting frustrating. So I'm just going to put it down.
Don't scratch it. What can I do to keep people from clicking off my videos? So a couple things that will get people to click off videos pretty quick. And I'm going to assume you're talking about your retention graph. And at the beginning, it looks like this, just pointed straight down before it levels off. One thing I've seen a lot of new YouTubers do is make the mistake of having like a 10-second intro. And I'm not talking about a 10-second intro with them saying what they're going to do today, although that's not good either. But I'm talking about music and lights and their name. They got something off Fiverr that someone slapped their name on. And it's just like, Rapid Dudes, bop, 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 bop. And the whole time you're like, well, okay, Rapid Dudes, let's go. Let's play the game. Let's do the thing. So you don't want that. I think that makes people leave very quickly. I know it did for me when I was watching a lot of different YouTubers like that. The other thing you want to do is you want to get to the point as fast as you can. Sometimes if I'm making a video, I'll start, I won't even introduce myself. I'll just start making a point and save the part where I introduce myself a little bit later on. There's always time for that, but you want people to know as soon as they get there that they're in the right place. I click this video, I'm trying to learn this thing, or I'm trying to have this experience, this funny video, and they don't want this slow build up to it, because nobody has patience for that.
I would suggest starting off with your first 30 seconds of your video in terms of audience retention. If there is a big drop off at the beginning, that's where your biggest problem lies, because you cannot get those viewers back. This is something I'm really wrestling with right now, Dan. I don't know if you've noticed in some of my most recent videos, I'm now experimenting without an intro whatsoever. And I'm actually using a later part of the video where it is almost a payoff, but it's kind of out of context. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna be able to do this, but how do I get to this point? There's one about copyright claims, which is coming up very soon, and I actually use some tense music, with some drums going on in the background. I don't know if this is going to work whatsoever, but I'm just experimenting. I'm trying to work out how to improve our audience retention on our videos. I think ultimately in the first 30 seconds, you've got to try and reinforce the thumbnail and the title, first of all, and then create some sort of intrigue that's going to be revealed and concluded by the end of the video. But I'm still reading Daryl Lee's book. I'm reading it very slowly right now, and I think he has a lot of good things to talk about. He has this kind of formula, and it goes through an episode of Seinfeld, which effectively has no point at all. I think that's what it's famous for. It's just random stuff happening, but there's actual story elements that go throughout each of the episodes, and he kind of breaks it down how Seinfeld does it. So I need to read that chapter again because I've pretty much forgotten every single part of it.
Yeah, it's something we're also struggling with, though. Maybe struggling is not the right word, but constantly experimenting with.
Yeah, it's a difficult audience. You know, we're in the education business. People want answers to questions very, very fast, and if they don't get the answers, they move on. So how do we include more, I guess, storytelling elements to our content while still keeping it within an educational format?
Even sicker question. My channel is about why we do the things that we do. I wanted to do a series over passions and how to follow them. Is that niche enough, or what would you advise?
It can be. It depends how strong that theme of passion is, because what you're trying to share there is a belief or a shared goal amongst your tribe. I could think the way sometimes gaming channels do this is that they don't focus on a particular game. They focus on like beating every single boss in a particular game, or I think there was one channel that we saw, Dan, that was playing the first level of every single video game. So that was kind of their shared belief. So it's a different approach to video gaming. So I think it can be done, but that has to become core to your value proposition, and making sure that people follow that, as opposed to any specific niche that you may be talking about in one of your videos.
Yeah.
Was that an even sicker answer?
That was a sick answer.
Thanks.
Dank. Let's see here. I will pick this one. Mitch Michael. Can you advise some of us on science and technology, trending phones, and topics like the PS5, like MKBHD, and Mr. Who's the Boss?
Well, first of all, I would say MKBHD and Mr. Who's the Boss, they're able to transcend a particular niche within technology because of the quality of their content, which is just on another level. There is one creator on YouTube who I will watch regardless of what they're talking about, and that is MKBHD, because of the quality of his content, but also just the way he presents stuff, which is phenomenal. He has this low key presentation style, which it just is so welcoming, but he seems to have so much impact with what he says and how he says it as well. Now, then what I'm going to say though is that if you're looking at trending phones and then you're looking at PS5, again, for a smaller channel, that's difficult to do, because to begin with, you're not discovered as a MKBHD or a Mr. Who's the Boss. You're probably discovered because you found something unique on the PS5, or you had some unique information to share. And that's how we will always encourage creators to start out, with getting discovered through search. And then once people are in your content, then you can start to deliver quality content or a certain personality or whatever is going to make you unique to your audience, so that they come back for you, as opposed to necessarily what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right. Let me scroll back down here.
All right, this one. How to stop people unsubscribing for me? Don't let them unsubscribe. If I'm honest, if they're not interested in your content and they've unsubscribed, then for whatever reason, your content no longer resonates with them. Now, let's say this is because you did videos on a certain game for a month and then you changed to another game. Well, that might be the reason they're unsubscribing. I think you're pleading with people to not unsubscribe. You're pleading with people to not unsubscribe. That's like a double negative. Whereas what you should be doing is taking account for why they are unsubscribing. So that would be looking at your data. What is it that there's less click-through rates because what you're making now doesn't appeal to what your audience subscribed for? Are people watching for less time? Because again, the content of your videos is not appealing to that audience who presses the subscribe button. So yeah, I think this is one of the questions where you have to take account for why people are unsubscribing. Don't blame them. It's likely that there's something that's changed in your content. But on the plus side, it may be that this collection of people are going to unsubscribe because you've pivoted to something else. But then there's a brand new audience here who are discovering your content for the first time and are going to subscribe and stay with you and stay loyal.
Yeah. I have a very, very old gaming channel, and I used to do all kinds of stuff before I niched down, and I would try different niches for a while, and then I would pivot and all kinds of stuff. And every time I had a big, turnover in my audience, right? Like there was people who were subscribed that weren't coming back and new people who were coming in. And if I'm being honest, even though the channel's at like 44,000 subscribers, if 20,000 of them today were like, oh, you don't make the videos I used to watch, and I just remembered that, so I'm unsubscribing, I would actually be happier, because right now the subscribe metric, not even right now, for all of time, basically, that metric has been a vanity metric that is kind of deceiving. Like, oh, you have 40,000 subscribers, congrats. But really, you don't really have the reach, that implies. You're reaching people who aren't subscribed to you all the time. In fact, most YouTube channels probably see, if they look at their audience metrics, that most of their viewers come from people who aren't even subscribed in the first place. So I think focusing on this idea that, oh my gosh, people are unsubscribing to me, is the wrong place for you to be mentally. I think you're going to make better content if you put that out of your head. And one thing I want to show you is this new metric from YouTube. If you haven't seen it already.
Oh, don't show this. This is really bad on our channel for the last 2 weeks, Dan.
Sorry, it's too late. So take your screenshot shots, because I'm removing.
No, put it back.
So the way this works is that there are two different sets of metrics here. We have returning viewers and we have new viewers. Returning is represented in purple. And for a lot of channels, I wouldn't be surprised at all if your returning viewers actually outpaced the number of subscribers in some cases. That can happen. But this is the sort of thing that is more tangible right now, today, or maybe yesterday, depending on YouTube's speed at updating this. What's happening on your channel? We had 20,000 people return on March 29th, and we had 28,000 new viewers, people who've never seen our content before. And yet we're approaching 1 million subscribers. So that's kind of the day by day what's going on. And this is so much more valuable than focusing on subscribers. I know the silver play button is something you probably want to achieve. You want monetization, you want things like that. I get it. But mentally, don't put yourself on that hamster wheel. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I was just going to quickly say, PewDiePie has 109 million subscribers, and he averages around about 4 million views per video. So that's only theoretically 4% of his subscribers watching his content. But I would even hasten to add that maybe half of those who watch his content are subscribers. As a bit of a guess, but even so, like 110 million subscribers, nearly 4 million views per video. That shows you how little subscribers can mean as a useful metric. Mr. Beast, I think, is around about half the size of PewDiePie right now, but each of his videos gets 30 million plus views. So take that as an interesting conversation on subscriber counts.
I just wanted to answer their next question very quickly. No, you should not hide your subscriber account. Don't be silly.
Whoa, Dan Lemon, the SmackDown.
Well, just after all the stuff I just said, it doesn't. You can if you want, but I always found that kind of silly when people did that. Like, why? Who cares? Like, don't worry about the subscriber count. Worry more about making content for your viewers. And then if you want to obsess over any metrics, retention, viewership, returning viewers, things like that.
I would say don't worry about it. YouTube's going to hide your subscriber counts in 9 months anyway, even if you don't ask about it.
It's probably true.
Yeah. just a guess. All right then, Jaden. Right, I want to try and do this on screen. So sorry, Dan, I'm going full screen.
No, go for it.
And I need to hide this question for a second. Right. So let's say on this side of the screen, we have the quality bar, right? And at the top is highest quality possible. And then we have quantity on this side. Hang on.
This isn't working.
Yeah. Right. My hands are... There we go. I can't do this. This is really hard.
Not working.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Look like you're trying to do a puppet show.
I know. God, this because I'm trying to do myself in a mirror. Right. There we are. So this is right. This is quality. This is quantity. Yeah. So at the start of your YouTube journey, this was quality, right?
Yep.
So quantity. The angles are all wrong. There we go. No, this is not working.
Just say the thing you're trying to say.
No, I ain't got any props at hand. Maybe this will work. Right. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Do them one at a time.
Quality. All right. So this side is going to be quality, and this side is going to be quantity. Right. Okay. You got it. So at the start of your YouTube journey, I reckon that quantity has quite a lot of importance, because I think making as many YouTube videos as possible to begin with gives you so much experience, which is invaluable. And unfortunately, typically not that many people are watching your YouTube content. But as you get better at making videos, first of all, you can make them faster, so you can sometimes still make the same amount of quantity. True. But the quality increases as you do that. So can you see that the quantity is almost staying at the same point, but the quality is increasing?
Amazing.
Yeah, and that's not my TED Talk. That was absolutely terrible. Did anybody get any use out of that? What I'm basically trying to say is that I think personally, quantity can have more importance to begin with as a YouTube channel, because you want to do the YouTube reps and gain muscle memory. And then you get to a point where you now know you want to make a video about this topic, but because you have all of that experience behind you by repetition, then you can make a better quality video. I made that way harder and stupider than it should have been.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a good question. We get it pretty much every week. And I always say something that I think a lot of people would assume I'm contradicting you when I say this, but I always try and warn people not to burn out, because I worry that people take the quality message and the quantity message and they go, okay, quantity first. Got it. And okay, I'm going to make daily videos then. I'm going to make 3 videos a day. Always do what you're capable of doing in that moment. If high quantity for you means 1 video a week, then that's what it means. I believe that gone are the days where you need a daily upload schedule to rank on YouTube. I don't think that's a thing anymore. Just be consistent as you start to figure out your channel. But I do like the idea of, you need to get a lot of videos. Don't worry so much about how they look and how the editing is and stuff like that. Just get all your mistakes out of the way, if that's how you want to think about it. Get all that nonsense out of the way early on. Play 10, 20, 30 different games if you have to get that out of your system before you niche down. But use it as the time to learn. It's okay to have your first videos, be something you look back on and go, yikes, that could have been done better. But that's how a lot of us feel.
Mike Artist, how to get a video viral that is already uploaded and not a trending topic? Well, I guess there's 2 answers to this. Don't have a game plan of trying to make viral videos, generally speaking, because that is a recipe for a lot of failure, because viral videos are kind of videos that happen through, I think that I'm sure there is a formula to this. I'm probably not answering this in a particularly good way, but if your mindset is that you want to make viral videos, then it's you're very rarely going to succeed with this. And let's say, for example, 1 in every 20 videos goes viral. Even that would be a very high ratio. You're going to burn yourself out making those other 19 videos that don't perform very well. Ultimately, for most channels, it's based on consistency. Consistently hitting the right target audience with content that they want to watch. And some of those videos will perform better than others. You will have what I describe as your own personal viral moments, where there is a video that performs 4 times as well as anything that you've previously done. You usually get 100 views, but then one video gets 600, 700 views. That is your viral moment. And that is what you want to focus on in terms of why did that video perform so well? Can I replicate that success? And so on. And if something isn't trending, then I'm afraid that almost eliminates the viral possibility. What it could turn into is evergreen content if it is something of interest that occurs all the time. You know, it's not based off of a trending topic. It's something like how to tie a tie or how to change a tire. That is not viral content, but it can be even more valuable than viral content because you're going to get views today, tomorrow, next year, in 10 years' time. Again, I feel as if I answered that question really badly. So, Dan, if you can.
Every video you put out is an investment, is kind of how I look at it. So if you focus too much, this is the quantity over quality discussion extended, honestly, because if you focus too much on making your next high quality video that you know is going to go viral or you hope goes viral, you're taking time away from making more of those small investments over the long term, you know? So if that means, let's say you make that one video that you just hope is going to go viral, you spend a whole week on it, right? And you finally post it only to find out it doesn't. You could have posted probably a lot more videos in the time it took you to make that one. So yeah, worry about making content for an audience, like Rob said. And yeah, every video you put out is just an investment towards that goal.
I do apologize to other people posting questions if we keep choosing Karim Adi, but he's asking really good questions here. So
yeah.
Would you say an iPhone would work as a camera for the first 100 videos, or should we aim to get a camera sooner? Your skills are always exceed your technology, I would say. So absolutely, an iPhone is more than adequate as your filming camera for a very long time. I know that, I think, again, going back to Daryl Lee's book, I think Mr. Beast writes that he used his iPhone or an iPhone to record his YouTube channel for the first 3 years or several hundred videos. It's all about how you use the technology you have at hand. So this is framing the shot, how you record motion within the frame, the angles that you shoot at, how you set up potentially the lighting and like the interesting aspects of what's in the foreground and the background. And I would also suggest that before you improve your camera, I would always encourage people to improve audio first, because bad audio can be more of a hindrance than necessarily bad image quality. If you're having problems with focus, I think focus is another thing. Focus is always really bad on a video. That can cause issues. I've filmed, I think I did this on Friday, where I filmed 10 minutes worth of content and it was out of focus and I had to reshoot the whole thing again, which is really annoying. But hopefully with an iPhone, if you got autofocus on, that should never be an issue. But I think, Dan, you probably want to chime in on this as well.
No, my first couple videos here were shot on a phone, and you know, I knew they weren't going to look that great. I didn't have a good recording space either, but you know, I just worked with what I had. Like that didn't. No one in the company was like, "Hey, you look really amateur. You shouldn't do that." Everyone here understands that, you know, if you haven't recorded a lot of, you know, 2-camera content before, yeah, you're going to need some practice. You're going to be rusty, or you're not going to have the equipment that you necessarily need to get the job done. Eventually we got me that equipment, but it's even here, you know, I didn't see it as like essential that, oh, I have to get the best camera before I can dare to post one video. You know, it's okay to start like that, because like a lot of people are watching videos passively anyway. A lot of people aren't fully eyeballs to the screen the entire time. They're kind of listening. They're doing something else. That's why audio is so important.
Shirley's Beauty Discovery Channel. Again, another good common question here. You see, this is a question I like. Instead of how to get more subscribers, you've kind of asked the same question, but in a different, more specific way, because one of the calls to action could be getting people to subscribe. So what's the best way to call to action? Let's quickly explain what a call to action is. You're basically asking your audience to do something, asking them to specifically do something at a specific point in the video. So this might be subscribe to the channel, click the thumbs up button, check out the link in the description, post a comment, etc., etc. So yeah, Dan, go on, you fire off with a couple first.
I like making a very simple subscribe button, like an animation, right? You could get them online and like, you know, purchase them that way, or you can make your own if you have those skills. But it doesn't take much, I don't think, and you don't want to hammer people over the head with these things. But I like to put one nearest to the beginning of a video, like just a little mouse clicking a button and clicking the bell. Everyone knows what that means. And then I like to say at the end, if you liked this, hit the like button. Hey, subscribe while you're at it. See you next time. I think calls to action can be subtle, and I could think they can be there without people feeling like they're getting their heads, beaten in over it. One thing I noticed the other day was I was just scrolling through YouTube Shorts, and I found one I came across where every few seconds the YouTuber who made it put different subscribe animations all over the video. Like, it just kept popping up, and it just took me out of the video. Like, it was just overdone. Once you have more than a couple of those, especially on a YouTube short, I don't think you should really have any. Honestly, that's another discussion. If you're gonna have any on a short, it should just be one. But if you're gonna do 4 or 5 on a short, like, I'm not subscribing. I'm scrolling to the next short because it's so distracting. I feel like you only made this because you just want that one metric to go up.
I would say the best way to get somebody to activate a call to action is when they're most engaged with your content. And that can be at different points in the videos. I think usually, although some people do this, part of their intro is like the call to action. And some people automatically go, hey, welcome to my channel. Make sure to subscribe and like this video if you find it useful. Let's go into a topic of the video or whatever. I try and insert a call to action around about 90 seconds in or a minute in after I've delivered something of value. Like, I've shown them how to set up a custom URL, or I've just shown them how to check copyright claims. So it's like, oh, I found that useful. Oh, yeah, I think I'll subscribe. Some people are a lot more direct. They'll say, it'd be really helpful if you could subscribe to me. It helps me grow my channel. And so you can join me on this journey. You try and get your audience involved in that call to action. But again, it can be the same for trying to sell something. Or get somebody to download your tools or whatever. We've just shown you at the very beginning of this live stream how to use the trend alerts. And then I made sure to do quite a lengthy call to action about downloading our software after that. Yeah. Other ways to keep your audience engaged is to ask them a question very early on, to ask them for their thoughts and feedback and so on. And so just try and think about when you think your audience is going to be most engaged with your content, and then you encourage them with a call to action. Yeah. I'm hoping YouTube are going to start to release more analytics around this, where they'll show you, at what points do people subscribe to your videos or post comments. I think that would be really useful for creators. I just want to give you a very recent example of something I did here. So I made this video yesterday about YouTube removing dislike counts. And you may notice here that the dislike count is quite high on this. And this isn't necessarily viewers being ironic and clicking the dislikes because that may disappear. It's because in the final minute of this video, I told creators that their channels smell and I want them to dislike the video. And it was also as a test to see who was actually watching until the end of the video. And it seems as if quite a lot of people watched until the end of the video and then disliked it. Yeah. I'm hoping this doesn't have a negative impact on the video. It was just a bit of fun. But yeah, it proves that calls to action work if you tell channels their smell.
Well, the last thing I'll say while you're looking at a video anyway, the last thing I'll say is you should answer your comments. I think that's another way to do a call to action without doing a call to action, because if someone takes the time to comment on your video and the creator of that video turns around and thanks them for the comment or engages in a discussion, I think that's an even bigger one. It's an indicator to YouTube, I think, that viewer is interested and engaged enough in the content to leave a comment. And two, it's just that validation you've given someone. Like, I took the time to watch your video, I took the time to leave a comment, and you took the time to actually answer my particular comment. That's so cool. I'm going to subscribe for more. It's just all about building that community and building that engagement. And I think that also just helps, naturally people just subscribe that way.
I think we may have just started memes of the week for the Q&A. So I want to thank Donny Games 18 here. I'm going to give you a free question if you want to ask it in this live stream. that is from Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
Wingardium Levioso.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we are. Thank you.
That's what was going through my head too. It's so good. Oh man.
Thank you for memeing me there. Yeah, if you do ask a question, we'll make sure that as long as it's something sensible, I'm not just going to answer a stupid question.
There's a question I've been sitting on. I've just had chat locked here for like several minutes now. So this question was asked forever ago, but it kind of caught my eye. How do you feel about the hard truth that most YouTubers fail in the long run, and why do most people fail at YouTube? This is not a hard truth that I subscribe to. I think that if you're going to fail on YouTube inevitably, that is just simply a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's either you letting that just weigh on you as you make your content. Like, what's even the point? I'm not going to make it anyway. Barely anyone does make it. Maybe your definition of making it on YouTube is just different from others. We've seen channels with 20,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers actually make YouTube a full-time career. It really depends on what you do on the platform, honestly. This is kind of goes into like, it's too saturated to do YouTube right now. My thoughts on this are, don't put your mind there. Because if you're just going to talk about, I'm going to fail on YouTube anyway, if you're just going to like worry about people saying that, you are going to fail, because how can anyone be creative in that state of mind? So I like to talk about questions that kind of relate to the mental health of a YouTube creator, because mental health is such a big part of YouTube and creativity in general. And this is one of those ones I saw that I was like, that's classic. I was hearing that when I started years ago, and it put me in that headspace when I didn't know really anything about YouTube at first. And I'm like, well, most people don't make it, so I guess it's not surprising that I only got 10 views on this video I worked really hard on. Try not to put yourself there.
Dan's got sound effects going on. I like it.
I have all kinds of sound effects.
All right, then. Right, this is an exclusive. So this is an exclusive for all of you people who are watching this live stream here. So this video isn't live yet. It's unlisted. Oh. But you can see that 26 people have already found it on our channel. And this is going out within the next week. And it is all about, if you're ready to quit YouTube, watch this. What do you think of this thumbnail, by the way, Dan? I'm still undecided on whether this is a good thumbnail or not. I don't know if it needs text or not. I don't know if there's too much text. I might change this. What do you think?
I think it'd be worth trying. The YouTube logo, I see what you're doing with because you want it somewhere, but I just think it's so tiny that it just, I don't know if it doesn't translate too well maybe in thumbnail form.
I was trying to draw it so that it would set behind the mountains, but Photoshop was really annoying me and I just gave up, so I just slapped it where the sun was.
If you could do that, I think if the YouTube logo could be almost as big as the sky poking out from behind the mountain, that'd be pretty cool.
Right. Well, I've got a task for you after this live stream, Dan. Since
I used the word "you," right? I didn't say if I could do it.
Anyway, what I wanted to show here was actually this image of, where there's this perceived reward for YouTube, and that some people get so close to it, and then they give up because they feel as if they haven't achieved anything. But what I'm showing here is that look what you achieved along the way. You've gained new skills, you've learned knowledge, you've probably gained a lot of confidence from being in front of camera, and spreading your message to an audience, but then also realize the positive impact on the people you've already touched with your content, even making them laugh, smile, inspiring them to start their own YouTube channels, etc., etc. So even if you think you failed on YouTube after, say, 50 videos and 2,000 views and 40 subscribers, that's actually quite a lot of success compared to people who have watched YouTube, never thought about starting a YouTube channel, and never have. There is so much reward potentially there. And the other thing as well is that often success is born out of many failures. So you may discover that YouTube is not for you, but YouTube Shorts is, or TikTok is, or Snapchat, or Twitter, or any other social media platforms. I think I mentioned also in this video that there are many people who are discovering a new skill or belief or truth in their value on Clubhouse. They're becoming like super moderators, so to speak. So I don't think any creative endeavor is a failure. I think you always learn something from it. And I think I also mentioned in this video as well that it took me 12 years of creative failures to finally find success on YouTube. And so, yeah, I mean, if you want to watch this video, I'm sure you'll be able to find it unlisted somewhere. But now I need to go do this thumbnail because maybe it's no good.
I'm going through this a little bit with my experimental secret channel. You know, at first it was a fun thing I was testing. I've come to enjoy what I'm doing over there so much that I've all but abandoned my main channel to focus on it more. And it's been really interesting because you look at that main channel, it's like, oh, you know, 40 something thousand subscribers. How could you walk away from that? But sometimes it just takes trying something new. And is that other channel a failure? No, but has my interest, the things I'm interested in, is how I change as a person affected that? Yeah, probably. I changed quite a bit. I'm interested in different things, and I have a different schedule now, you know, in life in general. So a lot of things are coming together, and yeah. So sometimes things don't work out, and then you try something new, and they do. It clicks, and sometimes it takes several versions of that for some folks.
Could your YouTube channel name affect your channel? I would say algorithmically, probably not. Although maybe if it's a strong search term, you know, it could impact it, but to such a small degree that I wouldn't necessarily name your channel based on search intent. Having said that, I think a memorable, quirky, funny channel name could impact your channel significantly. So if people can remember your channel, then you're kind of winning half a battle. For example, PewDiePie. I can only say PewDiePie's name like that often because just that's how people seem to pronounce his name. It's very unique and memorable. But then I know, Dan, with your secret channel, well, I'm not going to name what it is, but you've kind of merged a bit of search intent with some quirkiness, and it's very memorable. But obviously, we can't share that, so I don't know why I've just kind of teased something that we can't share.
But it's kind of what I was going to say too. Is having a memorable name is really, really helpful. I mean, gosh, can you imagine how many channels probably had the name Dream before Dream came on to the scene? You know, like,
yeah.
and it's one word, small word, very easy to remember. I would say it impacted his channel in a very positive way because it's easy to remember, it's easy to spell, and it's just so nice and short. So yeah, I think that secret channel, by the way, like people are already using the name to find it in search. That's already happening.
Nice.
So having a channel name that's easy to spell, that's really memorable, is just so important, I think, in the long run. In the short term, not so much. And hey, maybe even in the long term, maybe you're just not worried about people finding you by name, or maybe YouTube, maybe you put enough misspellings in all of your tags and stuff that YouTube knows that if people spell it wrong, they can still get there. You know, it just, Rob kind of put it better. It's a little consequence.
I hope I'm not revealing too much when I say that the title of your channel, Dan, is relevant both to the topic and the format.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it quite quirky. Somebody's going to find it one week, but until then, the challenge continues.
All right.
Is vertical video more likely to end up on short shelf than a square video? I don't know. At the moment, I would say I don't think it really matters as long as it's in a square format or thinner. Again, I still wonder whether YouTube are going to get more strict on this since the Shorts camera is limited to 15 seconds. But there's already so much content out there that is in a square format or is more than 15 seconds long. It would be a pretty big decision to change that right now. Just think of it from your audience's point of view. A square video means that there's going to be black bars at the top and bottom. So it's not as an enjoyable viewing experience. And that can be fixed by adding some graphics or text to the top and bottom of the video, which may complement it in some way. But it's how much effort you want to put into doing that. I've actually seen some videos. I mean, like, sorry to interrupt, Dan.
No, it's okay.
At the very beginning of YouTube Shorts, where they had landscape videos, but they were just tilting them vertical. So you literally had to tilt your phone or lock the aspect ratio of your phone. But even that video got like hundreds of thousands of views. I don't think that's going to, I think as Shorts matures as a platform, then the quality, style, and format of the videos will continue to match, will continue to grow and evolve.
I almost exclusively do Square Shorts, and it has not impacted the ability for them to
I didn't know that.
go kaboom. Now, I am worried that because it's an evolving platform that YouTube will decide. The Square thing was just a test. We were just kidding, but that's not a permanent change. And then
it is all beta. We have to remember that, isn't it? It's all beta, so they could change anything and anything, and they're more than entitled to do that.
I can fit so much more on the screen. There's so much more context with a Square video that I'll be really sad if all of those suddenly get removed from the Shorts algorithm. But right now, I've had no problems. I've tested both on the same channel, vertical and Square, and I've had no issues with getting Square videos to show up on Shorts as of today. I'll just caveat that by saying we don't know if that's going to be the case forever. So vertical might be safer if you're worried like that, but I'm not worried enough about it to change the way I'm doing it right now.
Has that person asked the question yet? Is it Donny Games 18? I haven't seen him come up with a question yet.
I remember the icon. I'm just scrolling.
I promised I'll answer one of his questions if and when that comes up.
I'm scrolling up. I'm not seeing one.
Okay, I'm going to try and find this other question, which I thought was pretty good, but now I can't find it. Does Control F work? No, it doesn't. No. Control F doesn't work. So we're using something called StreamYards, which feeds the questions. You know, like, sorry to do this, but this is a reason we can do this. Is because we have like the questions appearing on a web browser. So I was hoping I could Control F. The question I was looking for. It was something to do with click-through rate versus watch time and thumbnails versus titles.
I saw that one.
Yeah,
but that was a while ago now.
It was an interesting question, but I can't find it.
They were asking what of those four things was more important, like thumbnails versus titles, and then click-through versus watch time. They were wanting to know out of each of those, if they were to put versus one another, like what would be more important. Which is a tough one to answer. I think it's really depends. I mean, we like thumbnails and titles that complement one another, you know, but thumbnails, because they're so visual, will probably be more important. And then click through versus watch time. If those were the two, I'm not sure exactly how those. Maybe you'd be able to better off speaking about that.
Sorry, I was zoned out there. I was looking for questions. What were you saying?
Click through versus watch time. If that was in fact what they were wondering.
YouTube literally says on there, that little funnel graphic that you get, that if you increase your click-through rate on your watch time, YouTube will recommend your content to more people. So you just follow the data and what YouTube is telling you there. Right. You just have to be aware that if your content is successful and then YouTube does share it with more people, that increases your impressions, but it may lower your click-through rate because YouTube is testing it with new audiences. And people who are familiar with your content are more likely to click versus a brand new audience. But that you want that to happen. You want impressions is effectively free advertising for your content. And so you want as many impressions as possible. I always equate it to this example of, would you rather have YouTube share your content 1 billion times and have 1% click-through rate? Or would you rather have 100% click-through rate on 1,000 shares through YouTube? And obviously you want the billion because it's reaching so many more people.
All right.
I'm going to try and pick out some quick ones here. Can you use copyright songs in your videos? Yes. Sometimes you will almost definitely get a copyright claim, which means you cannot monetize that content. In YouTube Shorts, yes, they are now actively encouraging you to use copyright music through their tools, through the Shorts camera. But again, as of now, you can't monetize that content. That may change in the future, though. I think YouTube are realizing through TikTok that there's somewhat of a democratization of using copyright content in some way that both makes a video goes viral, but also means that this music reaches a brand new audience. I think there was that one of the Fleetwood Mac song of a guy drinking cranberry juice on a skateboard, which kind of, I think that actually impacted the sales of Fleetwood Mac's song. So I think the music industry is starting to learn the potential power of freely sharing music. We don't generally recommend using copyrighted content in the sense that it's someone else's content, and we wouldn't want to see any creator profit by using this content without somebody's permission. However, with YouTube's new official tools, then you might be able to do that. I think in a year's time, there's going to be quite a lot of new interesting questions surrounding copyright. And hopefully, Dan, very soon, I think we're going to have Emily Baker on probably this live stream. We've already had her on the podcast talking about copyright, but I think she's looking forward to maybe answering some of your questions here on copyright specifically. So stick around for that.
Do you need thumbnails on YouTube Shorts? No. Some people put them there in case they do get discovered in search or browse or suggested, but you don't need them. I personally, if you're only going to do shorts, I wouldn't worry about it. It's one less thing to worry about if you ask me. But that's just my personal take on that.
So for long form content, thumbnails are incredibly important because they impact 100% of the people who see your content. For shorts, then it's a little different because you don't know how many people are actually going to see that thumbnail. So it has less value, but creators are still experimenting with thumbnails. I would say check your traffic sources. If you're getting, I'm going to pick a ballpark figure here, but I think if at least 30% of your traffic is coming from outside of YouTube Shorts, then experiment with thumbnails, because that could lead to more views outside of YouTube Shorts. But I don't know if that's a good number. I was kind of just plucking it out of the air.
How to get your first 1,000 subscribers? You should watch our video on that exact topic. If you type in that question into YouTube search and then for fun even throw vidIQ after it, you will find our videos that answer that exact question in great detail.
Yeah, let's have a look. Go on, carry on, Dan. I'm going to do that in the
I'm just still looking for questions.
All right, okay. Hang on. What you should do is...
I have a really interesting one that I'm going to put on the screen.
Bring up the question and I'll just share my screen.
Yeah.
Is for the previous question about 1,000 subscribers. Just do a search for how to get 1,000 subscribers vidIQ. Look at all... Well, let's ignore that one. Look at all of these videos about how to get 1,000 subscribers from vidIQ. We've done it on how to do it for gaming channels. We've done it for we've done it for 2021. We've done it for... a couple of years ago, we kind of refreshed this video. Like we've done one about how long it takes to get 1,000 subscribers. There's Dan he's staring at the screen kind of in a scary fashion. There's even one for 100 subscribers. So we got plenty of videos on the topic.
That's a good thumbnail I made.
Yeah, it was okay.
All right. So how much do live streams multiply the watch time hours gained while someone is watching one? Now, this is the reason I love my secret channel, because this is another experiment I've tried. And I thought, okay, so got this shorts channel, but it's not getting watch time hours. What can I do? I know I'll do a live stream. Live stream got, 100 hours or something after it was done. When it concludes, YouTube spits something out and it's like, here's everything we know about your live stream right now. It had this many viewers. It got, an average watch duration of about this much. Here's all the total hours of that. Boom. Here's like 100 hours. I'm like, sweet. I'm 100 hours closer. Go me. I was not 100 hours closer. It would seem, and this is just a theory, I started to dig around on this a little bit to try and figure out why that was. And the theory people were touting on the Reddit I was reading was that if you do a short or if you do a live stream, that is not monetizable content anyway. While the live stream is live, you can't have ads on it. So therefore, the hours you get while you're live don't actually count. Just like they don't on shorts, because shorts cannot be monetized. This is the theory that this person was suggesting. But you still get the hours when people come back. That's why one of the reasons you probably shouldn't private your live streams or unlist them when they're done. Let people come back and watch them, because the streams I've tested are still getting the channel watch time after the fact. That is definitely happening because the watch time is going up and the numbers seem to match the watch time I'm getting post stream. So that is everything I know right now through all of my science and experimentation.
So what you're saying, Dan, is that the actual physical watch time. So let's say right now it's 200 people watching this live stream. So that's 3 hours plus. Well, it's about 200. We're getting 200 minutes of watch time per minute, which is around about 3 hours, 20 minutes of watch time.
Yeah.
But none of that actually counts. It's only if somebody watches the
replay,
the video on demand version of this live stream.
Because we could put an ad on that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're monetized then or not, because the whole point is this a monetizable watch time hour or watch time minute or whatever? Yes, because if we wanted to, we could put an ad on it. We can't do that while we're live.
But when people come into a live stream,
this is someone's theory on the internet. Okay, this is not like YouTube didn't tell me this. Just want to make it very clear. But go ahead.
When people, I was just looking at the website in the background, so this might be interesting. When people come onto a live stream, there can be an ad. When they first start, when they first start a live stream, I've seen ads, and also on the sidebar as well. But
see, on Twitch, like you can play ads during the stream, and so I'm just used to that. But I don't remember seeing that on YouTube. But again, certainly I guess could happen. Let's see what we got.
So this is interesting. Watch hours gained through the following types do not count, and the bottom one here. Live streams not converted into video on demand. So is that explicitly saying that the live stream portion of a video does not count towards public watch time hours? That's what it seems to imply, but it's not completely explicit, because it kind of also almost means, well, hang on, if it did turn into video on demand, does that mean it retroactively counts the hours from the live stream? But I would seem to that theory would seem to sound true, Dan, in that only the hours watched when the live stream is video on demand would count towards monetization, which I didn't know.
It feels like that, and if you want privately, we can go over some numbers, because I've been trying to save those moments when a stream ends of like, here's your hours, and I should already be by the numbers I'm seeing, I should be either at or very close to the monetization threshold, and I'm not.
Right.
So it is a pretty strong indicator to me that I'm getting those hours only after the fact, once people watch the stream later.
There must be a reason for that. I reckon YouTube have figured out that some people have been trying to game live streams in terms of watch hours and removing that.
It would really, if you got viewers on a live stream and you did it long enough, it would be a way to kind of cheat your way to your 4,000 hours. And that's why I wanted to test it, because I always thought that would actually work, and it doesn't seem like it is. And if I'm wrong about the balance there of how they're measuring the hours that go towards watch time, that's fine too, but they certainly not one for one. Whatever's happening is not one for one. If someone's watching my live stream, it doesn't seem to count.
That is relatively new information as well. I've not seen that particular bullet point on that screen before. I don't think it's enough to do a video about that. Just watch time hours from a live stream. Yeah,
I'm happy to privately share some metrics with you. But I was just looking at this the other day, and that was what someone said. But you're right. I have seen sidebar ads and stuff on streams, so that part of their theory probably isn't true. But that's neither here nor there.
I think, Dan, for the final 10 minutes or so of this live stream, we should broaden our questions. You know, like when we've answered non-YouTube questions. So as long as they're not like strictly personal questions, but things about life, you know, like what we like to watch, what games we're playing. I kind of like to make this the casual moment of a vidIQ Q&A.
We've provided a lot of value today, and we deserve a treat.
Have we? So yeah, if you want to ask some non-YouTube questions now, then fire away.
As those come into play, let's quickly remind everybody that
why we're all here.
Mere hours to take advantage of this deal that we are offering. It ends in just a day and 12 hours. So I guess you have a day and 12 hours to upgrade now to vidIQ Boost for an entire year. You get 20% off for that year, and a free one-on-one channel audit session with one of our amazing channel auditors who are going to sit down with you one-on-one in a call and talk about your channel specifically and the ways you can grow on YouTube today. $500 value. You get one of these sessions for free. That is a thing that we are doing. It is not a joke. It is for April Fools, but we're not kidding around.
We certainly are not. I've never played Among Us, so I don't care.
Same, but I'm excited for you.
I'm glad you are. I am terrible at jokes, to be honest. So other than when I'm fooling my YouTube audience into an app I'm releasing. So I don't have any April 1st gags for tomorrow, I must admit.
If we did, we wouldn't tell you anyway.
All right, industrial maintenance, interesting question. So I actually reveal a little bit of this in the quitting YouTube thing. I was or have been a library assistant. Now, I did that after I graduated from university because I couldn't find a job. Then I was a teacher. I've worked in software support. So this was like people have an issue, I guess, like the IT crowd, if you've ever seen that. And yeah, and then I moved into, I guess, becoming a bit of a teacher again with YouTube, with vidIQ.
I don't like getting too personal with this stuff, but what I will say is that I had the normal youngster upbringing when it came to work, restaurants, retail, things like that, and later got into production and marketing and things like that later on through college and stuff like that. So I don't want to get very specific at all, very personal to me, but yeah, it's not that interesting anyway.
All right. No, I don't want to answer that question. I like, all I'll say is I think I'm going to answer this question in a video that I'm doing soon, but I'm not going to answer it. I mean, we kind of answered it on and off a billion times, but I'm thinking of doing a video answering that question within the context of something else. So stick around for that. Dan, by all means, if you see any questions, just click on them and we'll pick them out.
When did we meet? When I started at vidIQ.
Well, we've never met, funnily enough. I've never actually...
this doesn't count, I guess.
Met Dan in the flesh, so to speak. I've actually been wondering, like, whether we'll really hate each other when we actually meet in person. You know, like we've got a really good virtual, digital vibe. But
That'll be on you.
I think it might be the way you walk, Dan, or something, or like you'll wear.
I do walk funny.
You'll wear cologne that like just like, oh, Dan smells so, not only does he look cool, but he smells nice as well, and that just might make me feel really jealous. I guess the first time we may actually meet Dan is at one of these conferences coming up soon, because now the US is starting to open up. I know VidSummit and VidCon are, I think, happening in the the fall. But again, I don't know how international travel is going to work. But yeah, so Dan, you can answer the question of when we actually met, I guess, online. Through Match.com.
Yeah, when I started
vidIQ
just over a year ago, not Match.com. You know, and it's been harmonious bliss ever since.
Oh, hasn't it?
What games are you looking forward to? I don't know why I selected this one, because I'm actually not really looking forward to a lot of games right now. I will say that Diablo 3 on Friday is starting a new season, and I just haven't played Diablo in so long. I've decided I'm going to play this season. And every few months they do one of these where if you play through the season, you get some exclusive gear and there's different challenges to do. And it's just, it's an itch I need to scratch sometimes.
I never look forward to games in the future. I always look at games that are released on Xbox Game Pass, which are very much in the past. They've been out for a couple of months. So currently I'm looking forward to, I'm just finishing off Gears of War 3 because I'm playing through that again. I haven't played Gears of War 4 or 5, so I'm looking forward to playing them. Travis told me that Shadow of Mordor, I think that's the right title, is very similar to the Batman games, and I love the Batman games, Arkham Asylum and whatnot. So I'm going to be trying that soon. But I've also got Watch Dogs 3 Legions and The Last of Us Part 2 to play. So these are all like games of 2020 or earlier. So I'm not really looking forward to anything, because I like to play games that have gone down in price. Like, I would have been looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077 if I was looking forward to future games. But the reason I don't look forward to games is because they so often disappoint when they're released. Because I think Cyberpunk 2077 has got terrible reviews because it's so glitchy and bugged. Yes, you are right in that being a teacher is a noble profession, but the pay is atrocious in the public sector. And you're always under the threat of what the government of the time wants to do. So I think that's why I got out of teaching, at least in the public sector, pretty early because I didn't think there was much opportunity for progression. I mean, I like the teaching aspect, but then I didn't necessarily like all the paperwork and forms that you had to fill out to go with it being a public sector place.
The answer to this question is yes, and I don't know if it'll ever release.
What is Hightail?
Everyone like in the Minecraft community is really excited about this because it's basically someone's basically taken Minecraft and redone it from the ground up, and just it's a totally, I don't know, it looks like a totally different experience in a lot of ways. Like the things they're adding to the genre of a block building game, and it looks really, really, really cool. I would love to play it. I just feel like we learned about this game years ago, and I guess I've just not been following it closely enough because I just hear nobody talking about it ever. I hear nothing about it ever. So once it comes out, yeah, absolutely.
Somebody's asked a specific question. I'm going to assume that Dan just is not interested in soccer games at all. I am very much, or was, I will say, very much in the Pro Evolution camp. So PES, whatever you want to call it, but specifically Pro Evolution Soccer 4, which is now nearly 20 years old. And I still maintain that is the best football/soccer game I've played. And I've been trying to find ways to play it again because it's not available on Steam or anything. So short of buying a PS2 to play it, it's a struggle. But there is also Championship Manager, which is the management side of soccer, which I loved playing as well. But FIFA, yeah, never really got into the FIFA games.
All right. There's let's see, a lot of spam I'm working around right now. Oh,
sorry, Dan.
We clicked at the same time.
It's the very same question.
Yep.
And again.
Grab it.
No, not that one. Was it this one? I think it was just more a case of I just bought stuff that would fit in these shelves more than like a fascination with any particular Avengers or Star Wars stuff. I really want the Mandalorian helmet, but it's already like, I think on general release it's already sold out. So you're going into eBay and Amazon Marketplace where it costs an absolute fortune. I just like collecting props and stuff now that I've got a bit of a disposable income. There's no particular, and I'll just buy stuff because it looks cool. Like the Halo helmet, for example. I'm not a massive fan of Halo, but I think the Master Chief helmet looks cool, so I bought it.
When you got the Thanos glove, were you expecting it to fit on one of those shelves?
Yes, maybe. But again, I think I just bought it because I knew if I didn't buy it then if I wanted it in the future, it would cost 3 times as much because it would only be available on the, not the black market, but the resale market.
Let's see.
I don't understand this question. Like, genetics, decisions made by parents. Where can I go with this, Zenzarius? I'm only giving it the time of day because it's from you, Zenzarius. But what is this? What Dan's going to look like? Dan, are you going to have to shave your hair off at some point? I think Dan's beard's better than mine as well. It looks more developed.
The beard genes I got, the hair is going to go at some point, and it's already starting. Luckily, I haven't had a haircut in many moons, so it looks like it's more than it is. When I say that, everyone gets mad at me in my life. It's fine, you're being ridiculous, but nah.
Oh, look at this, Dan. We're up to time, I think.
Oh no.
Oh, no. I'm hungry.
I know. That's why it sounded sarcastic from a minute ago, because I'm like, I could go for some food. But thank you, everybody, for being here for another vidIQ live stream. We do this every Wednesday where we take you through a tool and then we answer your questions. I'm not going to say yet because I don't know if it's been fully decided, but just be sure to join us next week because we may be introducing something pretty new and pretty sweet on the next Wednesday stream. If not next Wednesday, then very soon after, but we'll, don't worry. I can't tease it any more than that because I just don't know what I'm able to say right now. And then, of course, we're back on Tuesdays for channel audits. So if you've been sitting here like, boy, I wish they'd look at my channel, that's something we do on Tuesdays. So don't miss that every Tuesday. Did I miss anything? Anything else?
I don't think you did, other than to make sure to take advantages of the offers that we currently have available, especially the not April Fools, get a free channel audit with a year's subscription to vidIQ. And if you can't afford this, that's fine. We don't just cater to those who can part with money. We also have the fully free vidIQ trial. Gives you access to everything we have, including the vidIQ Academy, and that is available in the video description. As always, Dan, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll see everybody later on.
I'm going to take these gloves off now. I'm done.
Right.
The power's coming off.
Enjoy your day. We'll see you later, everybody.